Hey guys, what's going on? It's Stoddy here, back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over how to drive a manual car step by step. Hopefully this is going to be a relatively short video, but very action-packed and thorough. So if anybody's scared to buy a manual car and this is holding you back not being able to drive one, hopefully this helps some of you guys out, or this is just a nice, easy watch. With that being said, let's get into the car and let's start the tutorial. Okay, so first and foremost, as you guys can see, we're in the footwell here. And the gas is still on the right. The brake is just to the left of that like a normal automatic. But on the far left, you have a third pedal, which is the clutch. So first and foremost, what I would do, I would, excuse the mess too, but I just press down as far as you can. This gives you a feel for how heavy or light the clutch is, which translates to how hard you have to push in or how soft you have to push in. And this is very nice to check before you actually get in the car and drive. Okay, so just as important, we have the shifter here. Now, as you guys can see labeled on top, those are the gears and where they are. So in center, which is not labeled, this is neutral. See how I shake it and it's not going anywhere? Now this is an aftermarket shifter, but usually there's a little bit of play, a little bit more than that, but that's how you know you're in neutral. So as you guys can see here, we're gonna go to first, which is to the left and up. Second is down from that. Third is to the middle and up. Fourth is below it. Fifth is to the right and up. And sixth is right below it. Now I'm going to go back to neutral here, and I'm going to go to reverse, which is all the way to the right and then up. Now reverse is different from one car to the next. It could be in a different spot, which again, you're just going to want to look at the top of your shifter and it'll tell you. So really focus on that. And also every time that you shift, you want to push the clutch in. Now you can do it freely when you're not driving, but just a rule of thumb, and I'll explain that later and demonstrate it, but you always want to push the clutch in. Okay, another important detail here is parking. So as you guys can see, my car is in neutral here and the parking brake is engaged, but for extra security, what I would do is put it into first. Just in case the parking brake does fail for whatever reason, then your car being in first gear is like a transmission brake. It's pretty much the same as an automatic car being in park. And this is just an extra reassurance, again, if your parking brake does fail. So if you see a manual car parked in first, this is the reason why. Okay guys, so now I want to talk about starting your car. We've pretty much done everything to this point except for start the vehicle. So what you want to do is, obviously you can see my car is still in first. So you don't want to start the car while it's in first. Your car will jolt forward and then stall. So what you want to do again is push the clutch in, which is your pedal on the far left. Put it to neutral, give it a little shake back and forth, just so you know it's in neutral. Continue to hold the clutch in the whole time and just start the car. Now that it's started, make sure your parking brake is still on and we can finally get going. So guys, what I first want to talk about, and I think this is the easiest to kind of learn, is just going into reverse. So I'm going to push down my brake first, and then I'm going to disengage my parking brake by pulling it back, pushing the button and pulling it forward. So as you can see, I have no lights on, the brake is off. And I have excellent fuel pressure, or oil pressure, by the way. So from earlier, you guys know that my reverse is all the way to the right and up. So I'm gonna push the clutch in first. I'm gonna shift over and up. And then what I'm gonna do, and do not dump the clutch, so do not fully release it. Just kind of float on it, you know, push it down about 50% of the way, make sure nothing's behind you. And we are slowly going. The reason I say don't dump it is because it will really, it won't stall, but it'll go really fast in a short amount of time. And it's kind of a little bit worrisome if you're new to manuals. So as you can see, we just moved a little bit and I was giving it about 50% clutch feel and we were moving pretty easily. So yeah, that's reverse. Reverse is the simplest to learn. And when you can get that down, I think we can move on to the next couple gears. Okay guys, so now we're gonna move in first gear here. So as you can see, we're in neutral, the parking brake is on. We're gonna first release that. I'm gonna put my foot on the brake the whole time it's released. I'm gonna push the clutch in while my foot is still on the brake. I'm gonna go left and up into first, and then we're ready to move. So what you wanna do is, while you can release the brake, put your foot all the way on the clutch still. Slowly release the clutch and slowly give the car gas at the same time. It's almost like the same amount that you're taking off the clutch, you're putting onto the gas, if that makes any sense. So if you're releasing the clutch 25%, give it 25% gas, 50%, 50%, and so on and so forth. Obviously, you're going to get into the higher percentages when you're street racing, but for now, I would say about 25% of each pedal is going to give you guys the perfect launch. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys pretty much what I was talking about. So clutch in, I'm shifting to first, obviously you can't see it, and then just slowly release it and slowly give it gas too. And that's pretty much it. That's how you take off. Okay, so let's say you're going on the road here, you're in first gear like so. You can hear the engine winding up. You can see I'm at about 3,000 RPMs. Clutch in, shift to second, release the clutch and press the gas in. Next, what you're gonna wanna do, and it might be hard to hear me, but I'm at 3,000 again. Go to third. Same thing with fourth. Clutch in, shift down to fourth, clutch out and gas. Fifth, same thing, and fifth is kind of hard to hit for some people just starting. But clutch in, shift to fifth, clutch out and gas. It's pretty straightforward. Lastly is the final gear, which some manuals are 5, some are 6, but clutch in, 6, clutch out and gas. With that being said, guys, as you can see, we're slowly coming up to a stop sign, and this is where our stopping segment comes into play. So I'm going about 50 miles an hour, and if you're just starting out, the easiest way to do this is clutch in, shift it to neutral, which is right in the center again, and your RPMs will go straight down, and it's that simple. Just press the brake like you normally would in an automatic car and come up to your stop. Now, one thing I really want to talk about here is when you're stopped at a stop sign, for example, I am right now, make sure that your car is in neutral. Do not, if you're downshifting, going down through the gears from fourth to third to second to first, do not leave it in first. You're gonna give yourself a headache, especially if you're at a red light and you're gonna be sitting there for a long time. Okay guys, so here's another little tip here. If you're slowing down and you're coming to a roundabout like I am right now, you gotta go about 10 to 15 miles an hour around the roundabout. What I'll do is clutch in and then go to neutral here. And if you know that you're gonna be going 10 to 15 miles an hour while you wait, you're gonna just want to downshift, clutch in, go into first, give some gas, and then slowly go around the roundabout here and safely. It's that easy. And then shift in a second and just work your way through the gears again. Okay, so saying you're coming up to that same roundabout, but you want to slow down by downshifting. So I'm in 6th here. Just clutch in, go down to 5th, and give it some gas. Keep doing that. Work your way down and your RPMs will start shooting up. As you guys can see, I'm in the right gear, yield for traffic, and you're good to go. Now, obviously you don't need to do this. This is for the more intermediate or the more advanced manual drivers. This isn't essential for anything that you need to do right off the bat. Okay, so before I leave you guys, I just wanted to touch up on a couple things. Excuse the wind noise and the lawnmowers in the background, but before this car, I never really had too much seat time in manual cars or stick shift cars. I drove a couple Miatas and I drove a Silverado that was a stick, but other than that, I mean, I probably had 2 hours of seat time to my name before I bought this car. And this is a 600 horsepower Z06. I mean, it's, seems intimidating at first, but really, manual cars aren't that difficult to get a grasp of. When you really start getting practice and, it kind of becomes second nature. So just find a parking lot near you guys and don't be scared to just give it a couple runs. Don't be scared to stall it. The clutches are meant to be taking a little bit of a beating. So just keep practicing and keep getting better. I hope this video helped some of you guys out and was entertaining to watch. And I also hope that if your dream car is a stick car, I really hope you go out and get it. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great day and thank you for watching.